Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors, episode 80.
Welcome to Life by Design, the podcast for chiropractors. Here's your host, Dr. Jamie Richards.
Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors, the voice of reason in chiropractic. I'm your host, Dr. Jamie Richards. Today I'm replaced by my co-host, Dr. Crayshaw Jug, and Dr. Rochelle Vanderhayden Jug, as they come on and talk about an area that they truly have excelled in their practice and become experts in within the profession, and that's social media and social media branding and marketing. So I think you're going to enjoy today's episode as they share some of their strategies as well as tactics and tips along the way. So enjoy today's episode of Life by Design for Chiropractors.
Welcome to Life by Design for Chiropractors. You're going to notice that this is not Dr. Jamie Richards, but I am going to welcome my guest, which is pretty hot. And she's smiling now too, which is great. Welcome to the show, Dr. Rochelle Vanderhayden.
I'm really excited to be here. It's been a long time coming.
I asked you in the pre-show if were you ever a guest? Yes,
I think I was a guest. Yeah, I was a guest one time. It was a long time ago. It was when I first came back into practice, so it was maybe about a year and a half ago.
Do you remember the topic?
I don't even remember. That's terrible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going to be talking about why your social media marketing is not working. We've been at this for a really long time.
At what?
At social media, at marketing. I remember, it's just interesting to reflect, and I'm going to try my best to make this valuable. It took me 4 years of being on, quote, social media before the first person ever made an appointment. And I remember Jenna, Dr. Jenna, hopefully she still listens to the podcast, but she was working as a contractor in her office. And I remember losing my mind. And I'm not sure if she was excited or scared that I went over the top, but it took a long time. So, and on the flip side, since we started this, and we see a lot of new people from social media. Like when I was looking at the numbers before recording to the show, it's actually more than referrals for us. 60% of all of our new practice members come from social media specifically. So not, Google searches and not, in the community drive-bys or walk-bys, specifically from Instagram and Facebook. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, the whole point is that we have experience and we have some success and we have some results.
Yeah, I'll share some tips
coming from this. So let's dive in. We're going to be sharing 4 principles for you. And before we get into the principles, I think it's worthy of a conversation around what type of a person you're trying to get into your practice and what type of a practice you're trying to grow. So for us, the most important thing that we're trying to create is a lifetime practice member. Somebody that when they're in the practice for a long time. They bring their family, they tell other people, I'm not overly concerned, and I mean comment, right? Because we practice together. I'm not overly concerned what the number of, well, that's not true. It's not my first concern how many, quote, new people we saw that month. I'm more concerned with the quality and the conversions of the people that are coming in, because I know that long term, that's just going to be a better strategy, and it's going to be the type of practice that we want to have.
I agree.
Right. So, I mean, there's other things that you can be doing on social media that will work. And by work in this case, I mean drive new people into your practice. However, I'm obsessed with the quality of new people more so than just the numbers that are coming in. That's not to say we don't see a lot of new people. We see great numbers for new people. Yes. I'm concerned about seeing the right people first. So let's get into let's get into creating the mindset around this. And I want you guys to think back to, I'm using air quotations, a simpler time when, when the doctor used to come to your house and you would know your doctor. Your family had one doctor, the doctor. You went to one butcher. You had one mechanic. You had a certain person that your family would go to. And I believe that the secret to this, and I want you to comment because you've been going about doing it a different way other than on social media, but the secret to you becoming successful and creating the type of practice that you want is you need to become the chiropractor that people think of when they think of chiropractic, right? And social media. So how do you do that? Well, you get on into the community and you start meeting people, right? Like one of the things that you've been doing lately is you have taken a photography course by somebody who was a friend, and you got to meet a whole bunch of people that were there. Right? So go ahead.
It's essentially networking, and I always used to think about networking as you're in these BNI meetings. Not that there's anything against it. I just really disliked going to them. I dreaded going to them. I didn't like anything about them, but I always loved meeting new people and learning about what other people are doing for their jobs. So a way that I've been able to do that is I've just been taking courses in the community from local business women and actually learning things that I wanted to learn anyways, such as the photography course. Got to meet a whole awesome network of women that I'm staying in contact with. So that, to me, is my little networking in the community.
100%. But that's exactly the thing, because people are like, well, how do I do this? Right? Another simple thing that we started to do that was great that recently we got away from is we started, calling up local businesses and saying, hey, can we perform an interview with you and post it on our social media? So they're getting the traction, they're getting the interview, they're getting our audience, but we're meeting these people, right? So we're starting a relationship. So social media can be the exact same thing. It's just more scalable, because in order for you to take a course or to meet somebody or to go out for coffee, because you've been going out for coffee a lot too, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to set it up. It takes time out of your day. You got to go there, and you can't do it that much. But I can easily sit down and reach out to 5 to 15 different people every single day on social media and start a conversation and start a relationship. And that's actually, so point number one for why your social media is not working is because you talk too much and you need to spend more time listening and interacting with people.
Interacting is the biggest thing that I've found has helped me in the last few months.
100%, me too. Right, we have all of our practice members. One of the things that we do, because people are always debating, right? They're like, well, should I add new practice members or people in my practice onto my social media? And for us, because we've cleared out anything, like we specifically use our social media for, and this, there's nothing wrong with this, but we specifically use our social media for our business. There's nothing on any part of my social media anymore that I would be embarrassed with a practice member seeing or somebody that I'm taking care of. Right, we've taken all of that off. Now, whether you use social media personally, and there's some things that could disqualify some of the people that you're taking care of, you might want to rethink the strategy. But for us, we try to add everybody just so we can start interacting with them. We can start looking into their lives, and you can create more value and provide more value for them on that. Right?
Yep.
Do you have anything else to add?
Nothing.
Yeah, so I mean, that's the biggest thing.
So for the interaction, it's more, I carved some time out of my day. I take 20 minutes every day.
Scheduling. Okay.
I know that you spend more time, but 20 minutes a day works for me. And I take those 20 minutes and I comment, I send messages, I connect with people, ask questions. So some days that's 5 or 10 people, some days that's 20 people. Yeah,
so for me, thanks for bringing it up, because it's funny, I just do like the mindset stuff, but I never do the actual strategy. So for me, I call it 10-10-10. I comment on 10 photos from my feed of people that I'm already following. I comment on 10 stories. And then I search that, local hashtag London, Ontario. So LDNONT, which is our local hashtag. And I comment on 10 random people's photos and I start following them.
Okay. How long does that take you to do?
Half an hour.
Half an hour?
Yeah. And of course, I mean, if I was in a position where I was desperate for new people, I would spend 3 hours doing it. I would spend 4 hours doing it, right? So it all depends on where you're at and how much time you have to do this, because it's you can go forever.
But I think the one thing I like about this too and what's been working is because I really enjoy Instagram. I love the connections I've been making with local moms in our community, local mom entrepreneurs. Like, I love it. I love seeing their pictures. I love seeing what they create. So it doesn't feel like it's hard work for me. Like, to take that 20 minutes of comments a day, it's just so, I love doing it. Okay, so to get more specific and granular, what do you comment on? Right? Like, what's the last comment that you made? Oh, that's a really good question. I haven't done my commenting yet. I'm going to do it after this.
Okay, well, just something on a recent memory.
One of our practice members, Jessica Hale, her daughters were like doing something creative, pretending to be chiropractors. And I just commented, "This is so amazing." Just like saying how I loved the picture.
Right, because
just something simple.
Because I think people, you have to understand, right? Like, This strategy will work well on Instagram and Twitter. It will not work that great on Facebook, just because Facebook is more of a read only, and it's hard to find people in the community to interact with. But essentially, what you're doing is that's it. You see something that's interesting, and then what you do is you provide an insightful or a kind comment. Mm-hmm. Nothing weird.
Yeah, it's like what I would say if I saw her in person to her face.
Right, but I mean, it's because
it's truthful. It's truthful too.
But it's acceptable to do it to random strangers. Like, you're not a weirdo if you comment on somebody that you don't know's photo.
Yeah. There was a local trainer, and they were doing a mobility exercise, like a thoracic mobility exercise. I'm like, that's amazing. I never thought about doing it that way. That was the last comment.
Perfect. So this is going to lead into point number 2, because here's what happens. So you find somebody, let's say that you live in London and you search hashtag LDNONT, or you live in Toronto, whatever hashtag you search, and you make a comment. When somebody comments, well, here, I'll ask you. When somebody comments that you don't know on one of your pictures, what's the first thing that you do?
I comment back.
Sure.
And I follow them.
Right. And then you check out their profile.
Yeah.
Right. You're like, who is this person?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are they about?
100%. So what you're going to do is you're going to create that reaction. So point number 2, so number 1 is listen more, don't talk that much. And number 2 was your content is invaluable. So when somebody checks you out, they're going to go to your profile. They're going to look at your last posts. This is where posting good, valuable content is really important, right? And by good and valuable, what I mean is helpful, right? Chiropractors, and myself included, we have a tendency to really love and talk about chiropractic and subluxation. And those terms, to people who don't know you and don't come to see you, are not that important. People don't understand what subluxation is.
Well, they understand that they don't want the effects of subluxation. So.
Yeah, but they haven't called it. They don't know that it's subluxation, right? They want help. They're looking for
help for their problem.
Right? Specifically, whether that is being in less pain, being more mobile, nutrition, losing weight, stuff that the people who come into your practice are actually looking for help with. So you have to post content that's valuable to them in those circumstances, right? Not polarizing, negative, spiteful, angry content that sometimes... So
how does somebody know what is valuable content? Like, maybe to that person, they feel like that's something that's valuable.
So you have to reverse engineer
So how would you do that?
The person that you want to see, right? The way that I did it was I looked at what was getting the most engagement from other accounts. And by far, exercises and mobility stuff had the most. Now, I don't want to just do that. And that's why I talk about things that I'm doing so people get to know me, right? So I can brand myself. I talk about nutrition. I talk about Eat by Design, but not in a way that's negative, right? Not in a way that eating meat is murder or I'm so much better. I talk about the things that I'm currently struggling with and how I'm working through them in a way to become helpful to that person, right? Because if you post something like, the scale and you're thin or you're jacked, people are like, well, that's great, but that's not me, right? I love that idea of the point of your content is to get them to say, that's me, right? And if you become unrelatable, then everyone's gonna be like, well, good for you, pal, right? Versus, and not to say that you can't post, like you just posted a video of you doing 15 push-ups. There's not that many women that I know that can rattle off 15 push-ups that are good. So every once in a while you can get that in, but most of the time it's, hey, I'm working on this. I'm struggling with this. Here's what I'm trying to do. Yes?
I agree, yes.
You agree?
Yep.
Right. Number 3. So that's number 1. Number 1 was, please do more listening and stop talking so much.
And interacting, commenting, loving, sharing with people.
That's it. And number 2 was your content is invaluable. Start creating stuff that the people that you want to see in your practice, want to hear about. The simplest thing is when somebody asks you a question for something in practice, that means that probably other people want to know that information too.
A lot of people are using the questions feature on Instagram, which is amazing.
Love that feature.
You can pretty much poll your entire community and see what questions people have. There's a week's worth of content for you. You can be answering those people's questions through posts.
Totally agree. That's a good one. Number 3, you post for the wrong reasons.
Okay, like what?
again, the whole goal, and I was so guilty of this, the whole goal. So when we first started, the whole goal for this was we need to get new patients.
Yep.
Right? It was solely on how many new patients do we get. I spent, $500 on Facebook ads this week. How many new patients came in? And it was Gary Vaynerchuk's idea of becoming a media company along with branding, right? He talks about wanting to buy a pair of sneakers. And you never have seen a Nike ad, with these are on sale, buy them. The only ads you ever see from Nike, they're all branding videos. They're all like people crushing it, just do it, Michael Jordan, Jumpman. And through that type of awareness or branding advertising, they create a product that you actually want to have and that you actually want to buy, right? And it was those two ideas where pretty much everything that we do, like, don't get me wrong, we segment our people and I create a more targeted ad for people who have seen our ads before, but pretty much everything else is just an awareness ad of us trying to provide value, because the mindset has changed into we want to be the healthcare experts in our whole community. Right? And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to create really good content and get it in front of people enough times that eventually they're like, screw it, I'm going to come to see these people.
The last few weeks we've been out to Costco or the mall, there's 5 or 6 people that have come up to you and like, hey, you're the guy from the videos. Or someone will yell across, hey, I love your videos. Like, it's really amazing.
But think about that. So I don't know if those people are ever going to come into my practice, but the fact that they love the videos and they're excited to see me, those are all the emotions that you want to create, right? Versus, Ugh. Exactly. Ugh.
Yeah. There's that chiropractor.
Right. I remember listening to, the podcast a couple weeks ago, and Mike was talking about how he made an offer on a piece of land and he went to negotiate with the guy, and the guy dropped the price far too quickly, far too soon. So what do you think Mike's first thought was?
Something wrong with it?
What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Right? So, but that's similar to the type of advertising that I see chiropractors do on Facebook, right? It's the come get our special offer. The exam is, and I know people have heard us talk about this a million times before, but the exam normal price is $200, but you can have it for $47, right? The first thought is, what's wrong with this versus I love your videos. You know what you're doing. This is the guy or this is the gal, right? Those are two very different things. Anything else on that? About posting for the wrong reasons?
Yeah, so don't post to get new patients in. You post to be valuable to your community.
I'm telling you, I can't, and I don't know, I can't say it any stronger than that, but literally that's been when I remember having the conversation.
Like, it's never crossed my mind that when I put up a post on Instagram that this is going to get new people into my office. I just want to be helpful to mine is like, I want to be super helpful to moms and new families in my community. Yeah, totally. And I mean, I think that's the biggest. I remember having the discussion with you at War Room when we changed like our War Room vision document to we're a media company and we need to provide valuable content. Right? And that's, again, that leads into the last one is you don't post often enough. And I think the main reason that people don't post often enough is because they feel like it's not working. Meaning it's not driving new people into the practice, right? I've just stopped caring in the sense that I don't look at how many specific people are coming in from this post. I believe that it's my mission to deliver good content to the people in the community. So I'm motivated to create more content, or I feel like I'm letting people down. So when you say you don't post often enough, I know there's differing views on this.
Yeah.
Well, what is often enough?
How about more than what you're doing right now?
That doesn't really mean anything.
Okay, so if you're posting on Instagram, right now I'm posting twice a day on Instagram. I would love to post more. I just don't have time. And that's why I think the right answer is a little bit more than you're doing right now. If you could post one thing on Instagram every single day, I think that's really good.
So what do you think is better? Like just being consistent? So if you're going to post 3 times a week, post 3 times a week, but don't miss? Or just posting as often as you can?
I think consistency is the key, as with everything else. And more importantly, because it gets you in the mindset that today's your day to create content and to post. Right? It's funny, we're just kind of chatting off the cuff. I remember when the Jerry Seinfeld special came on and they were talking to him about back in the day. It was his mission to write a joke every single day.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't and he didn't feel like writing a joke every single day, and they weren't all great jokes, and he didn't use half of them, but he got his mind in the mindset of, I need to create a joke every single day. Right? And if you're going to do this, and if you're going to go out there and be rock solid in the community and create an awesome practice and communicate, then that's something that you have to do. Right? You have to post at least once a day. The good thing is it's really easy to post across multiple platforms with one post. All it really takes is just changing the copy a little bit. Right? Because the psychology of the person on the platform is very different. You're a very different person on Instagram than you are on Facebook, than you are on Twitter. Right? So you expect different things.
Yep.
Right? Which is crazy when you think about it. Like, you literally switch platforms.
I know.
Right? You go from Instagram to Facebook and you become a different person with different expectations. Right? Like Instagram still is very, even though I write a lot of copy for Instagram, it's still very picture driven. Whereas Facebook, you can get away with a lot of copy. People will read a lot of copy on Facebook because they expect it. Right? And Twitter's the water cooler. So again, how much should you post? More than you are now, right? What platforms should you post on? All of them. Right? But if you're looking for this and if you're new, please start with Facebook. Like, Facebook is the mother of all social media still. They're dominating the game. The ads are still relatively cheap. If you're going to go to number 2, go to YouTube or Instagram, right? And then everything else falls suit after that. But those are the top 3 for sure. Meaning Facebook's still number 1 because your ads will go to everyone. Like, even my parents are on Facebook sometimes.
Yep.
Right.
True.
Right. My parents aren't on Instagram. They don't care. They're definitely not on Snapchat. They go on YouTube sometimes, but they're definitely on Facebook. Right.
I agree.
Anything else?
I got nothing. I need to post more. Thank you.
You've been saying that for a long time. As long as you, and again, thanks for bringing it up. Because I think a bonus one is caring about the wrong metrics. Right? People get obsessed with like likes and shares and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. All that matters at the end of the day, and this is going to sound completely counterintuitive to what we've been talking about, all that matters at the end of the day is that your message gets to the right people. And that those people find the content valuable and eventually end up into your practice and make appointments. Likes and shares doesn't matter. So, with all that being said, review, very simple before we end. Number 1 is to spend more time interacting and listening to what your community is actually telling you. Number 2 is to create valuable content that people will want to share and interact with. Number 3 is make sure that you're posting for the right reasons, which is not to get new people, but to be valuable and to create value.
Share your message.
And to share your message. And the last one is to post more often than what you're doing. Whatever you need to do, create a schedule, get your wife to hold you accountable, right? I do think, though, that the last one for posting, because I keep thinking of these things that I've always wanted to say, I don't think you can delegate it. You know, I don't think you can say...
I tried for a little bit.
Yes, you did.
I did hire a company to do it.
Yeah, not post for you, though.
They could post for me.
Yeah, but you didn't select that.
It just didn't get the message across the way I wanted it to. It was more, I needed to do it myself.
That's exactly the point, right? It needs to be you. It needs to be your voice.
Yeah.
Right? Anything else?
No, I got nothing.
Well, this has been fun. I'm glad we got to hang out and chat.
Thank you.
So
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, it's your podcast too. So thanks for listening to Life by Design for Chiropractors, the voice of reason in chiropractic.